G'day everyone, Damien here. Welcome to tonight's webinar. If you just joined us, I'm Damien, ex-Army, now running a property investment company. Tonight we're going to talk about property and home buying for ADF members and veterans. So, if you're either currently serving or you've served in the past, what I'm about to teach you tonight is actually, I know you probably think I'm talking it up a bit, but it's actually extremely valuable information. It's worth a lot of money. Just the entitlements alone are worth maybe $500,000, then some, depending on where you're posted and what your career path is. And then on top of that is the capital growth that you can make from properties if you have the right research and location selection and stuff like that. And this is not BS, right? Like, I did this myself while I was serving in the military. I'm really passionate about sharing this information. If I do nothing else but share this information, that gives me a lot of fulfillment. What you need to do is take these principles and apply them to your individual circumstances. Okay, so you need to go to the next step. So this is the broad information, broad education, and then the next step is to get the one-on-one advice. And I encourage you all to do that and make sure that you do take some action on it, because I say to people, you're sitting on a gold mine. The only thing that's stopping you from digging that gold out is two things. One is a lack of education, and the other is a lack of taking action. So I want to start with the education tonight and teach you what's out there and what your options are, and then I want to encourage you to take action. And one of the things that I've learned over the years is that the easiest way to get something done is actually to get someone else to do it for you. Someone of good character that you can trust, who is competent and trustworthy, and get them to get it done for you. But only after you have the education yourself, so you know what you want done and it makes sense, and then you can aggressively go after it, okay? So where should you be living, and what should you be living in? Should you be living in an apartment, a townhouse? Should you be buying it? Should you be renting it? Where should you be buying your properties? What are all these entitlements you've got? How best are you to play those entitlements, Property is a game, okay? But it's a real life game, and you can make a lot of money. Okay, a lot of money. Now, I'm 46 now. I was a multimillionaire when I was like 32, okay? And I was still in the military, a full-time Army, right? The reason why I was able to achieve that is because of property game. I understood it was a game, and I learned the rules, and I learned the strategies and tactics that win, and I started doing it, right? And you can do it too. And we're going to talk tonight about like mindset and different things like that. Now, in that game, you've got all these cards you can play, and I'm just going to scroll through the list here. First homeowners, grant stamp duty, concessions, HPAS, HEPSI, DOHAS, lump sum, living in accommodation, married quarters, rental allowance, and DVA compo. Now, DVA compensation, obviously DVA compo is not a housing entitlement, right? But the hardest thing to getting your first house is saving that first deposit, right? And if you come from a working class environment like me, you probably think that the way to get a deposit is just knuckle down, work hard, save your money, don't waste it. Bom, bom, wrong. That's actually the hardest way to get a deposit. And I'm going to teach you tonight the easy ways to get a deposit. A lot of you might be here just to learn about your entitlements. And I can say, here are the cards. But for me to truly teach you not just what they are, but how to use them, I've got to teach you how to play the property game. Right? How is it that people on the same salary, same trade, same rank, same pay, one person ends up with 10 properties, the other person spins their wheels their whole life? What's the difference? The difference is education, taking action. I'm going to teach you that tonight. And then mindset shifts. Before we can talk about that, it's a whole heap of stuff. If you're like me and you're born into the working class Australia, most 99% of people join the Defence Force are from the working class, right? The rich kids aren't joining the Defence Force, if you're like me, you'll probably talk wrong about a whole heap of things. I need to adjust all those. There's 8 mindset shifts. Then there's a few strategies and tactics in the property game, and then I'm going to teach you all those entitlements, how to use them. And then at the end, I'm going to talk about DVA claims, okay? All very important stuff. Property is expensive. If you just want to go out there and make mistakes in property, you're going to pay the hard way, and you're going to lose tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. But if you get some education, and you actually get mentored and guided properly, you can make a lot of money from property, years of salary easily, and you hear about people doing it. You just got to learn how to do it. I'm going to teach you in a second the 6 big mistakes. So the next thing I want you to write down is 6 big mistakes, and make a list underneath 1 to 6 and be ready to fill that in as we go through them. If you take away only the 6 big mistakes, and you avoid them, then you're going to like me, because you're going to make a lot of money by doing so. And the next thing I want you to write down is the 3 golden rules, and I list 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to teach you those as well tonight. So I'm going to teach you the 6 big mistakes and the 3 golden rules. The easiest money you will ever make is owning a property in a market that's booming. I say to people, don't add value to the property yourself. Let the government add value by building a new school down the road and a new public transport lane. Let Westfields add value by building a new shopping centre in that suburb. Let the market add value let the migration data add value, because people are moving into your area. Don't try it. It's not what you think it is. You watch all these TV shows, it's not that, okay? Stop putting it off. Why haven't you already done this? It's a great question. Why have you not already done this? 8 mindset shifts. First one, you haven't been educated yet. If you haven't been educated yet, get educated, right? Don't take action without education. It's a bit like, imagine if you join the Defence Force, no recruit course, no trade training, they just drop you straight in the unit. How well would you go? You wouldn't do too well, would you? So don't do this without it, right? Do your training first. What would you do 100 grand? Would you put in a savings account? Would you put in shares? Would you put in 1 property with a 20% deposit? Would you put in 2 with a minimum deposit, maximum borrowing from the banks? What would you do with your 100 grand? If you've got savings in a bank account right now, okay, you might be a good saver. Well done. You're a good saver. You've got the self-discipline to save money. You are 1 notch above the broke people, okay? But that's all you are. Because if your money's just in a savings account, you are not staying ahead of inflation. Inflation at the moment is in excess of 3% per annum, and you're basically just spinning your wheels, okay? You're carrying your money around in a bucket, and the bucket's leaking on the ground. You need to put it into something more serious. So let's say we buy 1 property with a 20% deposit. Now, a lot of people say don't borrow more than 80% because you'll pay mortgage insurance. So let's just test that, whether that's a valid theory. Most expensive property we could buy with 100 grand would be 400 grand. Hard to get a property at that price now, admittedly. And the mortgage would be 320, 80 grand deposit, 20 grand cost. There's our 100 grand spent. Why would we do that? This is why, because 10 years later, worst case scenario, interest only the whole time. The mortgage is still the same, but the house is doubled in value. There's 480 equity in that property, and the rent's doubled, and now we have a guaranteed passive income off that property. Now, when we put our money in a savings account, we end up 134,000. When we put in the shares, we end up 196,000. When we put in a property, we end up with 480,000. But yet the property market and the share market performs at the same rate. Why did we make more money in property? Over time, the cost of owning an investment property goes up, right? Inflation, the insurance premiums, the maintenance, etc., go up. And then towards the end there, you see a massive drop in the cost of owning property. That's when the mortgage pays out, and that's a significant event. When the mortgage discharges, the property becomes massively profitable, okay? So if you've got a property right now that is losing a bit of money, don't fret, because it will fix itself in time, okay? And it will flip over, and the income will exceed the cost, and then away you go. Now, here's a beautiful thing. Look how small that red triangle is, and look how massive that green area is. And as you get older, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The sooner you start playing this game, the better. If you want to keep spinning your wheels, living paycheck to paycheck and not growing any real wealth, do nothing about this. But if you want to make a difference, start the process, talk to my guys, just book yourself in for a free call with my guys and go to that next step. You have to go and buy 10 properties tomorrow, but just start moving through it step by step. To be successful, you've got to have the education, and you've got to take action, okay? Stop spinning your wheels. Now, some of you are probably sitting at home really skeptical, going, oh, I don't know about this bloke. Just ask for a phone call, hey? Just talk to the team, sleep on it, that's cool. We don't put pressure on people to do things they're not comfortable with. It costs $497 normally. If you book it off the webinar, it only costs $297, and there's 100% money back guaranteed. So if you do your strategy session and you don't like it or you don't get any value from it, we'll just refund your money. No issues at all. And then you'll be fully supported by the team. Surround yourself with a team and take action. It will happen for you.